And how much did they cost?
Guess like each piece is like as much as I can afford.
Oh yeah. No, it's just
How-
interesting for me that.
How much do you think they cost each piece?
Well, it definitely depends on the quality. I mean, they can be very cheap or
Yeah, exactly.
they can
you can
be
pick it up
very
and
expensive as well. But
if you have to take a guess.
like 30 euros each.
Do you want to hold them? Feel the weight.
Oh yeah, they feel like
They
they're-
feel solid, right?
Yeah, they
feel
feel like
solid.
quality.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
It's close. It's not 30, but it's close. It's 50 euro per piece.
Wow. I think it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to put effort if you want to do something good. You know, then it is essential that you also invest something invest enough. Then you also put your work or enough effort into your work also. If they would be like 5 euros each, then you wouldn't. I think you wouldn't try to do those interviews that good.
Really?
Yeah.
But to be honest though, like the sound quality of this thing is shit.
No, I listened the previous video that you made with Arthur, and yeah, they were good. Yeah.
I think it's just my computer being super nice, because if I plug this off, it pretty much sounds the same. Because we're so close to it.
Okay.
You know, it's still gotta be awesome.
Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, but it's definitely good to have like a proper machine or like thing as well.
I like this setting a lot more. Last time we were like in this high chair in my place, and we're basically sitting like this.
Yeah, you couldn't like lean.
Yeah, we couldn't relax,
yeah,
and the whole time like Arthur and I was just like really like doing this like
tense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of like
good. Yeah, you have the view and
sort of like in a lecture, but who are you?
Well, that's wow. I just try to remember that when was the last time when people asked me, or if anyone asked me this question. I think it was my psychologist asked me this like 6 years ago or something, and that was the last time when I have been asked this question. But who am I? Well,
what kind of psychological problem did you have?
I had an eating disorder.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought I had a very high demands of my body weight, and I wanted to like have a very strict control of it.
Okay.
And then like my whole life got turned around the food. You know, like what am I eating? How much am I losing calories and so on. And then it just needed to have like a professional assist to get me out of this messy situation.
Were you fat?
Yes, I was fat when I was like young, like 10 years old or something. But then I you know when children in their puberty age, they start growing, and then I got normal. But actually at that puberty age, you know, when you're very critical to yourself, then those are, or that's the time when it's most dangerous to get into this disease.
Okay.
So yeah, I actually wasn't fat when I got into this, but it's now solved, so it's good. But yeah, so we'll get to the question, or
who are you?
Yes. Who am I?
Don't have to think too much.
Yeah. Okay. The first answer is I'm like just a boy. You know, I wouldn't define myself as a man yet, so because I look quite young to myself if I look into the mirror.
Okay.
So I would say I'm like just a boy, you know,
okay.
who wants to do something cool, who wants to feel proud of himself.
Okay. What's your name?
Kristofer Erik Kamberg. They also have a middle name as well, after my granddad, if I'm right.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 20 years old, getting soon 21, like after a few months. If that would be important. But yeah,
21 years old, about to be.
actually no, like after 5 months or something.
So you're still like in the mid of 20.
Yeah, like 20 and a half, let's say then.
Okay, I'm 26.
Hmm.
When was the first time we met? Do you remember?
Yes, I do. I think Arthur, my brother, invited you to our place. I think we did something like oh no, the first time you just came over just for a chat and just for lunch, and I think we also went to sauna. And
that was the first time.
Yeah, that was the first time. But it's just curious for me that how did we started to
Become friends
yeah, like or what's the pointer from which pointer? Oh, I think that then there was a second time when you came to our place, to clean the forest,
Dogwood.
Yeah, logwood, yeah. Dogwood. Yeah, Talgud. Yeah.
Dogwood.
I was like dogwood.
I didn't open my mouth.
Yeah,
Dogwood.
No, yeah, you have this L, they're not too soft.
Dogwood.
Yeah, and then
we didn't get to meet a few months since we got to meet the first time.
Yeah, I guess so.
It was not like.
Oh yeah, and then I think then during the second time you came to our place, then I asked if you want to play pool sometime.
Did we actually got to play?
No.
Not at all.
No, not at all. Yeah, and then I think then.
But it's like a friendly gesture. It's kind of like when somebody say, "Hey, look, we can play pool sometime." It's kind of like saying, "Hey, I want to be friend with you, but I don't know what you like to do, so
no.
let's start from there."
No, actually, at that time, I liked to play pool.
Not anymore.
With my friends. I don't know. It's not boring for me anymore. I mean, at the moment, but just somehow I haven't got or maybe it's just I haven't find time to go and play.
Like
pool.
if you want to make friends with, are you still making friends nowadays?
Yeah,
New
but
friends.
Just it's. I mean, how do you define friends?
Just kind of getting to know people, I guess. Do you feel like your social circle is like still expanding?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But it's. I mean, if you're younger, then you make any kind of friends. Like it's very easy to make friends because it's very easy to have like one common interest. It's just to play games. But when you're older,
what kind of games are we talking about?
I mean, if I was a child, I mean, let's say like 10-year-old, then we played some sports games like football or something, or we just played some cards. We had those children card games, Yu-Gi-Oh.
What is that?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, this it's like everyone has their deck of cards and you have like those different abilities for each card, and then it's quite interesting. Or it was quite interesting because they also made a cartoon about this game. So then you imagine that you're maybe some character from that cartoon, and you're like,
but what
like cool guy.
Do you still make friends with like using that card nowadays?
Using what?
Playing that game nowadays?
No. It was when I was smaller, but now this. Now I think it's just more difficult to find this social meeting point to make the other person be your friend. I mean that you. Yeah, I think you need to like have something common.
Yeah, like I find it sometimes difficult to kind of get to know somebody, especially the starting point, right? Like for me, with you, it was through a common friend. Not a common friend, but somebody kind of is in the middle, and we got connected through that. The network kind of helped.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you make friend out of the blue in your case?
It's like very rarely, you know, like if you in some situation, in some
But
occasion.
you told me you're still making new friends nowadays.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Well, I mean, the thing that I had in mind that how I make new friends is that you just mostly work related contacts or meetings, and you meet with new people with your like work related stuff, and then with some people you just feel like or and I wouldn't say that the friendship just grows, you know, like from the first meeting, but just you somehow feel it that if you want to like if you want to like talk with that person also not about the work but also like just be friends, you know, then I somehow feel them to be friends, you know, like the new contacts actually I'm not sure if I can call them friends, but I just feel that they're friends. I don't know. I mean, acquaintances. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't go to play pool with them.
Why?
Because it's maybe I don't know. It's just.
Would you still go and play pool with me?
Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
So I would
not too often, but because I'm not that I'm not that fond of I'm not that fond of this game anymore, I think. But yeah, definitely, yeah.
Okay. You wouldn't play pool with them, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's new friends. I mean, that's always been an. I think it's. I mean, can you even define a friend like the meaning of a friend? I mean, maybe it's just the feeling that you like this person is a friend of yours. I mean, like, can it be defined in any way?
I guess for me is when I have time in hand and when I want to talk to somebody, when I want to hang out, and they kind of would be there, and those people I would consider friends. And in your case, I'm just, what would you say that you would do with your friend nowadays if they are considered your friend? Are there any specific events like the card game you used to play when you were kids? Like what do you?
I'm just thinking that.
Right, what do you bond through nowadays?
Like
we bonded through Dogwood, which is not very conventional. You know, you don't make friends through Dogwood nowadays.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah. Well, I would say that I'm not making new friends. I mean, like not definitely not regularly, but then there are just some occasions when you meet new people.
So you're not actively going out of your way to find new.
No. It's just through some occasions. Like for example, I went to Kenya to a training camp, and I met many people there, like who were also from different parts of Europe, and I mean, if I would like to go and visit them, then they would host me like in their home, you know, like. But it's just from me that if I want to communicate with them that much, but if I would, then definitely it wouldn't be a problem with them to be closer friends. So regularly I don't make new friends anymore, because I don't or my everyday life doesn't have those places or this time when I would meet new friend or make new friends, I would say, in some activities, but like during your life or in your life, you definitely have those moments when you meet new people, and that's also when I make new friends, you know. I would say.
How many individuals now you would consider as your friends at this point of your life? 20 years old.
Since this friend is like so shady definition, then
It's
I
pretty
would
shady.
then I would say like five to like I would say something in the range of 5 to 10,
5 to 10.
but it's all up to me that how much effort do I put into the like into building up this friendship or
Do you feel
actually
like
10 is much, like I think it's above 5, 5 or above or something.
I mean, last time when I was staying at your place when I was homeless in
Oh yeah.
there was definitely more than 5 dudes showed up for the party.
Yeah.
Are there some people there that you don't really consider as friends?
That I don't consider as friends.
I don't remember how many specifically, but there was definitely more than 5 people.
Yeah. There was like about 5 people. Yeah.
Do you consider all of them friends?
But yeah, it depends on the situation.
Okay.
Like
I don't want to put you on the spot,
Put me on the spot. What do you mean?
I mean, I don't want to force you to answer the question.
No. I mean, yes. I would say that they are my friends, But you must. I think you must also understand that, like I maybe doesn't or haven't had close friends, like you see in the movies, or I actually don't know if such friendship even exists. Like that close friendship when you know someone like from a childhood and you're like so bound to them and you tell them all your I don't know like secrets or something and your all your troubles and all your I don't know like how your day went every day. I mean I haven't had that kind of friends, and then like my definition of friend is it's not that it's quite open. I can consider like a person to be my friend quite easily, I would say. So yeah. I would say that all of those folks that who were in my apartment that day, then they're all my friends. Yeah. Right.
You're not going to school.
When?
You're not going to school at the moment.
Well, technically, I'm doing my school. I mean, like theoretically at the moment, but yeah, but that's not like the main activity. I mean, it's just it is this. How do you call those places that like the school for grown-ups?
The schools for grown-ups.
Like if a person in some reason hasn't completed their how do you call it, gymnasium? Is it like
high school?
High school, yeah. For some reason hasn't completed his secondary school or high school, then and they're working already and they're grown up. Then they have this like an easier school to still complete and to get this certification that you have.
I don't know the terms, but I would call it school for grown-ups.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So but
you're
yeah,
doing one of those.
Yeah, I'm doing one of those. Yeah, like it's steadily progressing. I would say that I started to do, like, we have 3 years in our high school, right? So I started to do those first or those 3 years last September. So that's my first year, but I probably won't graduate the first year this year. I will do only the first half of it, and then I will continue my study of the first year the next year. So yeah, it's moving, but not that rapidly, but it's moving.
I know this, but whoever is watching this don't know. So just to make things clear, you didn't go to high school.
No, I didn't go to high school. Yeah.
Did you go to middle school?
Middle school is like we have after kindergarten we have those 9 years.
School?
No, so 9 years.
That's 9, yeah.
9 years of or no. We have those 6 years after kindergarten, which is like a primary school,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then three more, right?
Yeah.
Which is the secondary school,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then before the university,
then you still have 3 years of high school.
Yeah. Okay. So that's high school. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't went to high school, but the question was that did I
Did you go to the middle school, the secondary school?
Yeah, I went to the
So you
secondary
finished
school.
9 years of education.
Yeah, because that's compulsory in Estonia to have this finished. So I just did the compulsory part. And
What do you mean compulsory? What would happen if you don't show up?
well, they would definitely have like some kind of an people from this education, like the government's like some kind of an educational ministry or department. They would have contacted my parents that time when I was because I wasn't 18, or I wasn't legally like grown up that time. So I think they would have like well.
So-
I believe that they wouldn't have fined my parents, but they would like have some kind of a formal stuff. But it's easier to complete those 9 years. I mean you complete your secondary school when you're like 16 or something. I mean, and it's totally okay to do the secondary school. I mean, if you're 16, you're quite less educated. I mean, like not and I don't mean the school education, but like the education that you get from your life experiences. I mean, I think it's good if the children are I mean, if the children stay in school at least until their 16th birthday.
But then after that, you figured you don't want to go to high school anymore.
Yeah, it was so clear that I don't want to do high school. That was like just it was so easy to me. I just knew what I didn't want. Yeah.
Huh. Was
I
it?
didn't know what I didn't. Okay, so never mind. Just I'm just thinking about my grammar, but never mind.
No worry.
Huh. Yeah. So this it's if you have
when you were 16, you were already convinced you don't want to go to high school. This is not a hindsight. You're not like thinking it out right now. You actually knew you didn't want to go to high school when you were 16.
It was 100% sure for me. 100% sure.
Is this common? People like know they don't want. For me, before I go to high school, I had no idea what else I can do without except for going to high school. So that was kind of like the only option. I didn't even have to think about it. Even though back home in China, you do have like the same system like we have here.
Mm-hmm.
The compulsory education is also 9 years before you go to high school.
Okay.
But everybody sort of like go to high school, at least finish the high school, just because it was so natural.
Yeah,
people
same
would
here.
Kind of do the same thing, right?
Same here, yeah. Only thing that people start questioning is that should I also go to the university right now, or I should have a little gap like for working or for just resting before I go to university. But usually people have this, at least here in Estonia, those people that I know, that they go to the primary school, secondary school, high school, and university. It's like I mean, usually people don't think of quitting this.
But how did you get the clarity? I mean, like how do you know?
Well, it was just my own or only my own decision, or like my own that none of my parents or friends or no one influenced me during or for this decision. They actually told me that I should continue my studies, but it's just, I don't know, it's just at that time I'm just trying to remember the way I was thinking it.
Was there something going on for you back then? Were you more interested in something else? Or just...
Well, I was. I mean, I would say that it's kind of an our family's thing that our parents are communicating with me and with my brother and the smaller sister quite a lot. I mean, I would say that more than usually parents do, and that I think that influenced me. Or that had the influence that why I didn't go to high school that time, because my dad was and he's at the moment also listen, how's the word, I would say that an entrepreneur, like a freelancer entrepreneur, and I was just, or he was just teaching me that what he's doing and
Your dad.
yeah, my dad, and how is he making living, and then I just watched the thing that we do in school, and I just thought that it's so inefficient. I mean, it's just theoretically, it's just so inefficient. I mean, we were doing those long days. We were staying in the school, and it was very exhausting, and we actually didn't learn anything from there. We just had to feel the formality of attending a class every day. I mean, also the teacher had the same goal, that their job is just to fill the formality of gathering up the children every morning, going through the timetable. I mean, all those classes, and it just felt to me like it was all like one big lie, you know, like, and no one's thinking that why or no, that what are they actually learning there. I mean, I just wanted to have some kind of a clarity that if I will do something, then I want to know why am I doing this. But at that time, I didn't see anything from school that I would like anything beneficial that I would get from there. So yeah, and that was one of the things, and yeah, and at the same time that very ruined me. I mean, I was very upset that I have to attend to school, that I need to fill this formality. I wanted to do workouts instead, and yeah, and then there was this two things that it was ruining me, the system there, and I also didn't see any benefit from this. I mean, it would have been okay for me if it would have ruined me, but if I see a benefit in this effort, then it's no problem for me to do it. But since it was mentally hard for me, and I didn't see anything good that it would give me, so then this. It was just so clear to me that no, I definitely won't go to high school.
Was there any specific subjects in middle school, the secondary school, that you find, you know, particularly useful or interesting to you?
You mean in the secondary school?
Yeah.
I would say everything was interesting, you know, just to like to widen your how to say, like widen your mental world, you know, just to see that what kind of, you know, like or yeah, what kind of subjects are there, like
and
in the world, you know.
And you don't think that you're gonna keep doing that in high school? If it's interesting for you in middle school?
Well, I thought it's no, I thought that, or no, I'm actually thinking at the moment too that the things we learned in the secondary school, they were 100% useful, just to build up like your some kind of a mental foundation for your thinking, you know, that what kind of things are like I mean, yeah, what kind of academic different approaches or those yeah, subjects are there, but from secondary school, I think you should start specializing for something, you know. It's I think well, it depends on how people evaluate their time.
So when you were in middle school, you didn't feel bored, you didn't feel like it was a waste of your time when you were in secondary school?
Well, I felt, but looking back, I'm thinking that yeah, it was still necessary or useful just to get some like just to get some knowledge from different sources.
But
I mean, like, knowing that something is bad is also knowledge, you know.
Yeah, I understand, but well, that brings me to the question: if you did go to high school,
you mean if I would have?
If you have been to high school
at that time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe at this point you would realize, oh, high school was also pretty useful, even though back then I felt like it was a bad management of my time.
Yeah, it actually also brought me to the same question. But let me think. Well, it is. No, I mean, yes, I haven't completed the high school at the moment. I have only seen like the first 1/3 of the high school. So I can't take any like final positions, but still I think that to learn secondary school is okay, just to build the foundation of your knowledge, but beyond there, like because our Estonian education system is that in the high school you still learn like 10 different very different from each other subjects, like physics and chemistry and biology and geography and
you feel it's too diverse for you. You want to specialize in something.
Yeah, I think it's too unprofessional.
Unprofessional.
Yeah.
What's your professional right now?
What's my professional right now? You mean like in what thing am I good at?
What are you specializing in? Because it feels like you want to focus on something from that point on in life.
Yeah, I think that's essential.
Or would you say it's like the direction that you're going towards, like career-wise?
Career-wise. That's a good question. It's a good question. I mean, one thing that okay.
You can think about it.
Yeah, but
I'll check the camera.
Go check it.
Artu. Bro, do you have an iPhone charger? Yeah. Can I borrow it? Can I borrow the iPhone charger? Yes. Sorry. Did he stop recording? No, I didn't. I just kind of want to prevent it from doing that. You got older cable. Hopefully. If you have one. You don't. I think this is good. Figure out. Oh, and you had this. Maybe the extension had this. Oh, battery bank.
So the question was that what am I professionalizing at the moment?
Yeah.
I mean, is it what do I want to professionalize, or is it the right way of saying professionalize?
I guess so.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind.
Okay. Do you mean that what I want to professionalize, or what am I professionalizing?
I want to know both now.
Well, I would say that what do I want to professionalize is definitely, or what's interesting for me, truly interesting, I would say is macroeconomics and politics. But I just believe that to take any opinion or or any position on that field, you need to have some kind of a practical background of doing something. I mean, you need to have some kind of an I don't know. In Estonian we have this word, this elukogemus, like a life experience. Just to, I mean, yeah, that before going or before truly understanding or learning or working in the field of macroeconomics or politics, I just feel that I need to have some kind of an thicker foundation, and this, and I'm at least I want to create this thicker foundation with the activity that I'm doing now, which is more related to. I think it's more related to. So yeah, we're like, or at least I work in a consultancy firm, and our like main consultancy service is regarding the like the retail functionalities in property development. So so yeah, basically it's any kind of I would say it's yeah, I think I couldn't have like defined it better. So yeah, we specialize in retail functionalities in real estate or property developments, and by retail I mean this social space where people are spending money either to buy things, services, or to go eat out there. So that's the, I would say that's the current work field where I'm professionalizing. But I think for me it's too it's something too detailed. I mean,
is it too detailed for you?
I mean, this sector, it's too detailed compared to my real interest.
Which would be?
Yeah, as I said before, this something regarding macroeconomics and politics.
But what kind of job what kind of profession would you do if those interests kind of started to take over and you actually started doing those things?
This macroeconomics and well, it would be interesting for me to be like a fund manager, like to try, or
okay.
I wouldn't say to try it. I mean, but yeah, that's some profession where you need to have the big picture, because you're like, I would say you're leading like trillions of euros or dollars, and if you are in charge of that big, I would say, money or power, I mean, like many people have worked very hard to earn that money, then that's interesting, because then you need to understand. Then you need to understand the world and the wider picture, and that's interesting.
But why would you care? I mean, in my head, those people who are actually managing that amount of money, they don't really care. They don't really have the interest of the clients in their head anymore. I mean, it's my limited knowledge about fund managing comes from the Wall Street.
Yeah, that they want, that the only thing that they want to do is earn commissions, right? Well, no, well, in practical life it could be so, but that's not what interests me. I mean,
so you would be the only honest fund manager if you ever become.
Well, I believe that there are definitely more of honest fund managers, but so I hope not to be the only one who is honest.
Are you good with money? You good with finances and stuff?
Am I good with money? You mean like
on a personal level?
A personal level.
I know you do thrive to have a better picture of like how the economy, how the market work, but I mean, on a micro level, let's say day to day, do you feel like you're good with financing yourself, to keep your finance under control and all that?
Yeah, I think I'm good enough. I'm still getting my experiences, but but at least I'm willing to adapt and to learn and to confirm my mistakes, and yes.
If you have one tip, because I'm terrible with money.
Budget, yeah, okay.
Personally. First, I don't earn that much. Second, I don't really know how to budget. Well, if it's just one tip for me, say I'm going to university right now, I don't pay rent, and what would be the thing that you can tell me, like kind of
about
help
money
me to put the budget under control?
Like one simple thing, I mean.
That it feels like is working out for you?
I think you must. You just need to feel the effort of earning money, and then from there comes all the knowledge that you need to.
So you appreciate the money more if you understand how much effort you put into.
Yeah,
those money.
yeah. You make wiser decisions because you. Yeah, I think so.
But you drive a BMW. How is that a?
Yeah. So.
How is that a wise decision on financing?
Well, yeah. Actually, this. I
mean, the fuel economy is not good.
It's okay. It's
not that
relatively
good.
Well. Yeah, you can always compare it to like some more budget.
For example, my car.
Yeah. But
and then the maintenance is twice as much as my car, as I understood.
Yeah. That's.
And you
that's
just bought new rims.
Yeah, I bought new rims. Yeah.
And right after you change the rim, you went to the car wash.
Yeah.
And then come back, the car is still dirty because the road wasn't good.
Yeah.
Trying to convince me you're good with money.
Well, just the BMW. Well, that was one of the like the knowledges that or one of the, I would say, I wouldn't say like mistake, but it's easier to understand it under a mistake that from where I learned. Yeah, so.
But it's your second BMW. It's not the first.
It's the previous cars were okay. They were in the budget level, but just with this car, I bought this car with an estimation that I will soon start earning a lot from one project. But so I made an expenditure first, considering that I will earn money in the future. But then how it turned out is that this project didn't go. I mean, it didn't succeed, and I didn't get the money that I expected when I made this expenditure. So that was
not very
wise.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't, but
it's like how all the financial crisis happened, in my opinion. People overspending beyond their means.
Yeah. That's true. So yeah, but as I said before, that before going to macroeconomics and politics, to actually start making there any decisions, I want to like have some kind of an thicker foundation, thicker foundation of experiences like that. So
when you say it was a learning curve, it was a mistake, do you regret buying the car?
No. It was definitely
such
not.
A firm no.
I mean, me without this experience, I would be poorer. I would be.
You would have more money.
I mean, no. I would be worse, or is it the correct way to say? I would be worse fund manager in the future if I wouldn't have make this mistake.
You think so?
Yeah, because I got this experience, this very cheap experience, I would say. I mean, it was my own money, not.
I wouldn't call it cheap.
Okay.
Let's go with that.
Compared to the
with a fund that might have trillions in there, right? It's cheap.
No. That's not cheap, because there are other people's money and their effort and I mean you can have your experiences with your money, but definitely not with other people's money. There you need to be careful and know what you're doing.
And just money aside, you also don't regret buying the car because you enjoy driving it.
Yeah. Or once more the question that I don't.
I mean, the money aside.
Yeah.
That's not talking about this being a financial mistake you made, but.
Sorry.
Just money aside, would you still call this a mistake? Say that like the project did took off, and this is within your means. This is the money you can spare to spend on a car.
Mm-hmm.
Would you still call this a mistake?
No. It's I mean.
From the car perspective.
Yeah, that's a very good car. You know, that's very comfortable. I truly like this car. You know, that's a big that's a big like happiness. You know, happy power.
So it's your third car, as I understand.
Yeah. That's my third car. Yeah.
And you're only 20 years old.
Only or already 20 years
let's
old.
Say,
or yeah.
Let's put that only or already discussion aside.
Okay.
You're
yes.
20 years old.
Yeah.
You have your third cars. You own your third cars.
Yeah, that's my third car. Yeah.
Your first car was when you were
18.
When you were 18, you got your first car. That was well, to get a driving license in Estonia, you have to be 18.
Yeah.
Right. So right after you got was it before you got the license?
No. I bought the car like in half a year later when I had my licenses.
You got your license, got the first car, which was a BMW.
BMW E46 coupe with an 3-liter. How do you say, like 3-liter gasoline engine. It was it was a nice it had a nice like going, you know. It had some nice going.
Second car when you were
actually it was almost a day when I turned 19. Yeah. It was almost the day when I turned 19, so I had the BMW for like half a year. Then I changed this BMW for also it was quite simple car, one older Audi. So
why sudden change after half a year?
Well,
you said it has a nice going for you.
Yeah. Too nice. Well, it is you know, how to describe it. You know, why I chose this BMW to be for the first car was that the thing that I checked when buying my first car was the price and the power. So
okay.
Yeah, that how much power can I get for some money, and this BMW was actually pretty good. It had those numbers in pretty good order, let's say. So yeah, and then my driving with the BMW, it wasn't nice, you know. It definitely wasn't nice, and I kind of started.
In what way?
You know, it was unpolite driving, you know, like rude driving, and this BMW was also rear wheel drive, so you can have and it was also enough powerful to have smaller power slides, you know, like drifting and starting from the, you know, from the, how do you say, like those lights in the traffic, you know, that the red light. Starting from the traffic lights, which are wheels spinning before, and so
why would that be a problem for you?
I would say that I just grew up, you know, like within half a year, you know, those things and those memories with this BMW, they started to feel nasty for me, and
strong word.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was like I actually started to hate this car, you know, because it
remind you of your nasty behavior.
Yeah, that's true. And then when I was it was then like or the like the influencer or the thing that made me, you know, like decide that yes, I will trade this car for other car, was that there was an accident in Estonia when also one BMW driver with 3 passengers, the BMW driver tried to drift, and the drift
with three people on board.
Yeah, with 3 people, with 3 friends on board. The drift went not the way he wanted to be, and the car turned with its side just hit to the bus that was driving by, and all of the driver's 3 friends died, and the driver was the only one who survived from this accident. And just to hear this, and then I just felt that it could have been me, you know.
Did you know any of the people there?
No. I didn't know anyone from there, but I just felt that it could have been me any day, and that was the shock or the point when I decided that yes, I will trade this car for something else. It was yes, it's quite a story, you know, quite an experience with this car.
Was that a big news in Estonia back then?
Not too big. I mean,
I heard quite a lot of.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Similar stories.
It's you know, like 1 accident, 3 dead people, or yeah, it's quite bad news, but it's not anything like too bad. I mean, those things in rural or country places, they happen, you know, quite a while. So it wasn't that big news, but definitely, yeah.
I don't know where I got the data, but in my head, I always seem to remember, you know, some people told me that in Estonia, the traffic kind of fatality, you know, traffic incidents and accidents, people got involved in those, and then the death in traffic.
Yeah, those numbers, right?
It's high per capita for a country of this size.
Yeah, I've also heard those statements.
I don't have anything to verify this.
Yeah, same here. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think this statistics is most thankfully to those countryside locations in Estonia where people consume alcohol, and they're they think it's cool to then go for a little rally on the streets and.
But you were done with the BMW.
Yeah.
Half a year after you got that one.
Yeah, the new one, this older Audi.
And now you're back on BMW.
Yeah, true.
Please explain the incentive.
Well, just the Audi was still quite old. It was like more than 15 years old.
Is that old? You consider that old?
Yeah, I would say for a car, it's quite old. You need to start changing parts, and it got quite costly.
Yeah,
you know, to change those parts, and then I just saw that it's much more. I mean, it's better for me to pay a little bit more now for the car and get something newer, because then I don't need to spend that much money on the maintenance. So I started to look for different options, and then what the car that I actually wanted to buy was an Audi. I decided to go for an A5 model, which is the Audi 2-door coupe version. But when I started to look the prices, then the prices for those Audi coupes were much more higher, and at the same time I also checked the BMW coupes with the same numbers, and
why
also
were
with
you
the
even
4-wheel
starting
drive.
checking? If you,
I don't know, it was by mistake, I think. You know,
if you were done with BMW for sure.
No, I wasn't done with BMW, I would say, but just with that kind of driving, you know, and this I think a bird flied to the window.
That's cool.
Yeah. No, I wasn't that much done with a BMW, but just more like this kind of driving habits, you know, and so yeah. But it was more like by an accident. I just also checked the BMWs, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, by accident.
Okay.
And then I just saw that I will have the same numbers, the same stats, also 4-wheel drive or the BMW's X-Drive, also 3-liter diesel engine, also coupe, also nice looking, with a much more lower price. So I just thought that okay, let's go for a BMW if it's much more economically wise, more wise decision.
Do you feel like the car make you make bad driving behaviors, or it's more the driver itself? Because
well, it's both definitely. It's definitely both. I mean, I was childish when much more childish than I'm at the moment. When I had this first BMW, so I think it was me, being childish, and also I mean the engine and the rear-wheel drive, and yeah. So it's both definitely. I mean. I had a rental car. I took my car for a maintenance, and then they gave me just their like car that they give for customers if the customer's car is maintained. And it was a very simple small car, Nissan Note. It's almost like the Honda Jazz. So yeah, and with that car, I mean, you just can't drive this car it's you can move from point A to point B, but
which is the point of having a car.
No. It's I think do you think that's the point of having a car?
I drive a Honda Jazz, so
yeah. I know.
I don't know what you're implying. Nissan Note, but yeah, I'm just saying it seems like that's my definition of a car. That's
different for me a bit. So I just see this. It's like for me. It's also, I mean, the car is also like I would say like we had this Yu-Gi-Oh card game when we were kids. Mm-hmm. Just now have the car. That you have your own personalized. This card deck, and you can have like different cards in there and different strategies for that you build this deck up for, and it's just some kind of a cool way, to personalize yourself, and it's or it's also same about the fashion, that some people pay big attention of how they look like and their clothes, and for me just this fashion part also expand to the car, it's also cool.
So you feel like that's a part of the fashion
statement for you? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, part of the fashion.
What kind of an image do you hope people to get from that car?
I think we should have pictures or some clips after.
I know when people when they're like coordinating their clothes, at least people who are conscious of that, they want to deliver a certain message. That's
that's true. Yeah. Well, I think
regardless of what people think, like, what do you hope them to get from that car?
I think they would, or I hope that they would think that, damn, it's a good looking classy tuning, that not too much, but something different, something that would catch your eye.
But what does that say about you, the car owner? Because it's never about the car.
Well,
what kind of message do you want to get from that car about you? Do you want them to say that?
I just need to imagine this picture of me seeing
stepping out of the car and stuff like that.
Not like me seeing such kind of car, then I would I would think that, okay, this guy tries to show off,
Like, for example, when I was like, I think this kind of self-presentation it's everywhere. For me, buying this car is not Honda Jazz. It's not only because I always tell people it's because the fuel economy is good and it's cheap. But by the end of the day, this choice is subconsciously also affected by how I want to present myself to other people.
Yeah.
What I do want to present is somebody who don't care about car. I think that's why I go so far to buy such a cute little car.
Yeah.
I want people to see that contrast. Like, oh, look, it's 185, but he just intentionally bought a small car that basically is bumping his head against the ceiling. That really says something about his characteristic. He doesn't care about car or material stuff. That's like a statement I'm trying to make subconsciously. Maybe I didn't thought too much into it, but right now, if I'm reflecting on that, that would be the incentive.
Sometimes I feel that I don't that I also want to have like this. I would say like a very shy car, you know, that the car that doesn't show off in any way, you know.
Yeah.
But sometimes I have this feeling, but you know, if you're 20, you know, you also want to have like some kind of good attention or not. Yeah, like and I probably hope to get it with these measures, you know.
I mean, I never had this image of BMW being driven by douchebags. Excuse my language, but this is idea that had been communicated to me through my friends in Estonia or people around me, you know.
Yeah, but that's a fact also. I mean, not all of them. Yeah.
Not in the place where I came from. Like back home, it's like successful middle-aged businessman.
You came from
China.
Which part?
Well, does it matter?
China is bigger than Europe.
Yeah,
so there are different locations.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
True.
say in China.
I don't think.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think just in my part. Let's keep that a secret.
Yeah.
But
okay, yeah, like
it's a very different demographic who drive BMW, and people don't have this automatic association like, oh, because he drive a BMW, he's like 20-ish, immature, you know, show off, like road bully, you know, that kind of image. You don't have that. But over here, I don't even know who told me this, but it was kind of like a gradual reinforcement from so many other people.
Yeah.
Like they keep telling me, oh, that dude drive a BMW. It's like the implication of that word BMW is like, it means something.
Yeah.
And it's not a good image.
It's not a good image, yeah.
And when you drive this, I don't know how. I guess my question is just like, when you're aware of this kind of prejudice towards a BMW owner, why you still choose to buy it? Because as I understand, you want to be the cool guy. You want to be the guy who,
I would say, who
drive a car
cool, fancy car,
that impress people. But by the end of the day, does this car actually impress? Who does it impress? Like for me, I wouldn't be impressed.
Seeing this car.
Yeah, I wouldn't be impressed. It's just I really don't see what's so charming in it.
Okay. Yeah. It's actually quite usual that the people or the most of the people, you know, like the majority of the people who are not car people, you know, like they don't see actually cars on the or they don't spot those modifications or stuff. Even if they do, they just say that, oh, it's a cool black car, you know. That's all, you know, that they say, but then they don't remember it after like a few seconds. So theoretically there's no point, I would say. There are like some individuals who spot it and see that, oh, that's a nice fitment, you know, like all those details have matched together very well, but it's like maybe only like 10% of the population, if even that much. So
and those people's opinion means a lot to you? Are those
no they
are those the people that you're trying to impress?
No, they're not, definitely not that. Those people, you know, that I want to impress. I don't know. I think it's more like I think it's, you know, if you put it like this, then or if you like start opening this idea, you know, then take it into pieces. Then I agree that theoretically there's like no point of having a flashy or like a cool car, you know. I mean, like of course something like a Lamborghini would be different story, but like for example my car, if I mean if it actually doesn't fill the purpose that you hope it to do.
Mm-hmm. What is the purpose again? I kind of lost track of that.
To get attention, you know, that people see that, oh, that's a very nice fitment, you know, and a good looking car. That you actually don't get this. I mean, in practical life, you actually don't get this attention, you know. So yeah, here is this question that why should you do it if you don't get if you don't get the thing that's your goal, but you know, but you have this feeling inside you that you know, or you think that you have a cool car, and that's a good feeling.
Okay, does it wear off for a long time? After you have it for a long time, do you still feel happy for having this car?
Definitely it goes like in time. It's not that I mean this.
It's your daily driver,
this
right?
feeling. Yeah, that's daily. Also my daily drivers. But yeah, in time you definitely this good feeling. Definitely, like with any other thing, you know, it gets like smaller, you know. But I still have the emotion with this car, you know, and if I park my car and walk into the grocery, then I look back once, then twice, after a few seconds once more, and I think that, oh, that's a cool car, yeah. It's my car, yeah. So and that's happiness, you know. I mean, that's a positive energy. So I mean, and if you get this positive energy, then it's good, you know, if you have positive energy inside you, or isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess people have very different approach in getting this kind of a satisfactory feeling inside of them. I guess people are looking for that. It's kind of like the high that we all chase, I guess, to be content about what we have, but people have very different approach. I guess car is just not the way how I would like to do it.
Yeah. No, but you know, I would say I'm not anymore like or I wouldn't define myself anymore like some kind of a car guy or something. You know, I'm just one dude who also puts his attention a little bit how is his car looking, but I would say it's not that big thing for me anymore. Also, I mean, I could also drive a Volkswagen. It wouldn't be no problem for me.
What about Honda Jazz?
Not the Honda Jazz, because you know I have experienced the difference. You know, just in the driving dynamics. You know, it's totally different. It's you know, yeah, it's very light and it's like too light, and you know, it's like it just feels to me that it's like you're driving with some kind of a tin box, you know.
Which is a bad thing, I assume.
Well, it doesn't feel good. That's the thing, you know.
Except for cars, I guess the question goes back to self-representation.
Attention.
Yeah, about clothes.
Yeah.
Are you particular about that?
Yeah, I would say I am. Well, definitely not that much as I was before, but yeah, or I don't know. I mean, I mean, just the last maybe couple of months, I actually haven't put any big effort how I look like. I had this period that when it was very important for me that how I look like fashion wise or something, but now it's I just want to, you know, I just want to like for myself, you know, that if I look into the mirror, then I see that, oh, that's cool fitment or cool looks, but nothing too much, you know.
But how do you get the reference? I guess a lot of people say that there is a self-evaluation of their fashion or what they like and what they don't. How do you get the reference? Because who are you comparing to know that you look cool in today's outfit? Do you have some inspiration from certain you know channels?
No.
Like, how do you get all this idea? Oh, this is fashionable for me.
Well, that's very interesting. I just the clothes that I wear,
Because
they need to
previously,
match with my. I
Yeah,
would say that,
when I was like looking at your outfit, like previously when we met, it's just like it's not like what's really in. It's not like the fashion people talk about, like what
Yeah.
Kanye wear or like Yeezys and all those like streetwears, you know.
Yeah.
It's a very different kind of vibe going on, and I feel like you're still reinventing that every single time I look at you. Like,
Yeah, I would say that.
yeah, there's like something new going on.
Well, actually, it's interesting, or yeah, just in, I would say in fashion, I have like implemented such a strategy that that I want to, you know, I try to break the picture of what people have about me. So just like as you said, that you see me with quite different styles, you know, not every time, but I change quite a lot my like yeah, I would say like styles is because that it's just cool for me, you know, that the one day you're dressing like an let's say like a fancy businessman, and then the other day you're dressing like just an casual, I don't know, like teenager, let's say. But that could be reason why you have like seen me with different with that different, you know, outfits.
What's the incentive of challenging people's perception about you?
I think it's free, you know. I think it makes me feel free when because if I change all the time, then it makes me. I mean, I'm just trying to think about it a little bit.
No worries.
Well,
I kind of want to pee.
Yeah, go. We can put it on stop maybe.
No, we don't
Okay.
have to stop it. It can just roll.
Well, it's just it just makes me feel more free if I change my lifestyle and also my outfit quite often, because.
But do you change your lifestyle quite often as well?
Well, I try to as much as I can. Yeah, I try to take on new activities. You know, like try different things, because then I mean, if you're then I'm keeping myself always open to new things, and I don't take any like I mean, people if they're living in the same routine like all the years, let's say, like then I would say that they get some kind of an bad habits of not changing themselves if they need to. They're not that adaptive anymore. But if you're used to or trained to change your yeah, like your life, like your thinking, you know, your approaches, then it's I think it's just much more interesting to live, you know. You can I mean, you can live different characters at the same time. You can try to be different persons.
Well, how would you describe your character right now? Today's mood.
Today's mood. I would say it's a bit like thoughtful, you know, like not too like happy or crazy, I would say.
I guess
it's good. It's thoughtful and calm. It's good. I like it.
I guess I have a similar experience. It's just I find it hard to understand why do I want to change all the time. It just, like you said, you don't want people to kind of understand
define you.
Yeah, to define you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you also want people to understand you. So it's kind of like contradictory. You want people's approval. You want people to appreciate you. The things that you do is a way of communicating with people around you, right? You're searching for a certain agreement with people around you, while at the same time you want to break their stereotype, their understanding of you constantly. You want to challenge that.
But isn't it this one? Isn't it the one way that people can understand you? That you're always open to change, always very flexible, always very adaptive.
I guess so.
I mean that. I mean, if you change every day, then that's one big common thing for you that you change every day.
Would you say it's successful, your effort of changing yourself constantly? Do you think people around you notice this quality of you willing to change? From the feedback or the kind of, just subtle kind of,
Well, that's I mean,
small
to change in what in what like in change in what field that they
just like we just talked about, like how you wanted, do things different or willing to change. This kind of mentality. Do you think other people around you kind of they get?
I don't.
Do you think
I
they
really
get it?
don't know to answer this, that if they get or not, but it's more about myself. I think it's not to express it to other people, but to express it to yourself, that you're always free, always open. You don't have any like strict ideas that or any identifications of yourself that would limit yourself, yet that would limit you. I think that's more just to me, not to other people.
If you wasn't doing what you're doing right now, the consultancy things, what would be an alternative that you're interested in pursuing?
I would even say like trading. I mean, like stock trading. That's quite interesting, but I'm not sure how fast can you make or if you can also make a living with it in the beginning. But yeah, that's quite interesting. Yeah.
So you want to? It feels like you want to deal with money, and
no, I don't have any
financial kind of things.
Well, I wanna do something with the big picture. That's interesting for me, and investing is something that is. I mean, all the economic situation. It's very global. You need to understand the global what's going on globally, and that's interesting. I mean, if you can work and think in that field or in that scale, then that's interesting. Not the money is not the thing, because as I also mentioned before, it's also it would be also very interesting for me to work in politics. I mean, and politics is not that much concerned with money. It's more like finding the right way. I mean, in the big picture to move one society, or to decide which way is good for the society. It's just at least my understanding of politics at the moment. I don't know if it's the right or wrong understanding, but
well, I guess there's no right and wrong in this. Big picture, huh?
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, just I don't know why. It's just
you want.
Well, it's always a question that how to define big, but
what's the point of seeing? What's the point of seeing that big picture?
I think
I know it's interesting for you.
Yeah.
But what's
I think it has some kind of like a safe feeling for me. If I look at the big picture, then I can be sure that I know what's going to happen. If I have the understanding of let's say the global economy or how some societies work and the others don't, then I think that may give some kind of like something like that. Yeah, that you understand how this.
But the
cliche world is working.
The cliche is people say that the bigger of a picture you see, the more responsibility you have, because
Yeah, that's true.
you see a lot of things that other people might not be aware of. And I remember seeing this movie that I think it's I don't know if you saw it, the Big Short.
Yeah, yeah.
It was about the financial
Yeah,
crisis. I
I've
think
seen
the
it.
housing crisis in the States.
Mm-hmm.
And just there's a few individuals who actually saw, you know, like how the credit history of like all this mortgage
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like the promise or how they
Mhm.
advertised. And when you see this big picture, I guess the ethical thing is not to bid against it, you know, not to bet against it. And for your personal goods, it was best. Like one of the two fund manager in there,
Uh-huh.
they shorted the mortgage market in America. They
Mhm.
kind of bet against the U.S. market, and that is in the sacrifice of millions of people losing home and losing job.
Mm-hmm.
Ethically, I don't think they're good people. But as somebody who are doing their job as fund manager, who are responsible solely for their investors, people who give them money, in that sense, they're the good guy. They're the people who are doing their job right.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's the ethical like what are you an ethical person? Are you, like you said, you want to have this
Well-
feeling of safety. I mean,
Yeah.
earning a shitload of money, you know, in sacrifice of somebody else, a lot of other people, it might be the safest thing for you to do.
No, I don't have any connection with an, I would say, as I described before, this like fund management and earning like personal money. I don't feel there any connection that I would get some kind of a, if I see the big picture, I can be close to big money and I earn
Yeah,
money.
but also at the
I don't
same time,
have
just
this.
like in politics, I guess, well, what you understand as a big picture, it might have a influence on people around you. It might have
Hmm.
influence in policies, you know, if you're actually doing that, if your picture is implemented.
So
Your understanding of, do you feel that's the thing you want to take on? To, you know,
take the responsibility.
yeah. Are you worried about
Yeah,
that?
yeah, that's interesting, you know.
You don't mind the responsibility?
No, that's interesting. You know, that's cool.
Huh. So you want to be responsible for that?
Yeah, I would say that not that I would like want to have responsibility, but that's interesting, you know. I mean, if you wouldn't be responsible, then it wouldn't be interesting as well, or would it be not, you know?
I see.
It's just like it's just like a game, you know. If you don't or if you're not responsible for the outcome. Can you open the window maybe just to get a little bit air here?
Yeah, it's a little bit stuffed right now.
And I will get some water.
I hope it's still recording. Oh yeah, we're doing well. I'll be right back.
So.
Oh, the knee is so painful.
Hmm.
Are you a flat earther?
Flat earther. I mean, No, I'm not definitely.
You're not definitely a flat earther, but you could be.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I'm not against it also.
You think the earth could be flat?
Uh, no, I don't think the Earth could be flat. I mean, I believe that the universe would be more logical if it be like an like there wouldn't be like one ground. That I believe that the universe would be more logical if it's just one space, you know, with objects in the space, and you don't have like upside or the downside, you know. It just feels to me more logical that the earth is not flat like one table on the bottom of the universe and then all the things are above. It just, I don't know, just my personal belief, or maybe I have thought so, you know, in school and stuff, you know.
Have you looked into flat earth theory?
No, I haven't looked into. Why should have I?
Are you a conspiracy theorist?
Mm.
Do you believe in Illuminati?
Illuminati. Well, I don't. Well, like I think it's over dramatized, this conspiracy theory stuff, but no, yeah. There are definitely some people who make those big decisions, but I don't believe that there are like some guys, you know, like wearing some kind of an hoods or stuff, or like some secretive organizations. Like I don't believe in that kind of thing, you know.
Do you have any question for me?
Like any question or any questions? I mean that should it be like one striking question?
Anything, really. It doesn't even have to be, you know, related to what we have been talking about.
Okay. Where's your home? That's interesting for me to know.
It's here.
Here where? Like well,
in Pirita.
Oh, in Pirita. Okay. So you feel that's your home, and
yeah, at this moment I do feel like that's a most homey place for me.
Okay.
You know, when people say like, don't you want to visit home? Yeah, my parents live in China at the moment. Shout out to my dad. But I don't have much, you know, connection with you know that place, except
China,
for with
you
my
mean?
yeah, except for with my parents. Like,
okay,
they're the only reason that I would even, you know, go visit. Yeah, and I don't have any friends back then, like in high school. And
okay.
no, not in high school, in middle school and elementary school, I was like bullied, so I don't really have any friends. And here, I guess, yeah, I don't know if I would call this home forever, but the time that I spent here, I definitely feel this is most homey.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, it's just interesting for me to ask this, that because I in my you know, this time after graduating from my secondary school and before now going to this grown-ups high school, then I went for half a year to UK with a plan to graduate their 2-year high school program.
So you were considering going to high school. You wasn't like
it was a few years later when I after graduating from secondary school. So
it wasn't right away.
No. It was like 2 years. I was I wasn't studying, and then I went to the UK.
Okay.
But only for half a year. Then I quitted this program there and came back to Estonia.
You didn't feel like that place was home?
Yeah, that's definitely one part of it. Yeah.
One part of the reason why you came back.
Yeah. That's but just I think if you go to some foreign country, you know that then I mean those people who you met there, you still don't have like that social meeting point that you have with the people back home, and that's very difficult to build up with locals there. I mean let's say to make friends. I mean especially in UK, where they have this very strict line between the locals and then the immigrants, you know.
Really?
Well, it just felt that way that you know that I was an usual immigrant there in UK, you know.
You wasn't, or you were.
I was, yeah.
You were.
I were, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was in UK, I just felt that there's some kind of an distance or some line between the locals and then all the people who go there to UK. That maybe it is because that there are that many foreigners and that many immigrants there already.
And you don't like that feeling, or?
No, yeah. I don't like that feeling. I feel there like some kind of an you know, like like some bacteria who is trying to get into your body, you know, who's not from your body, and then your body tries to get rid of this bacteria, you know.
So did you just call yourself a bacteria?
yeah, I just called myself a bacteria.
So that's a feeling of how you get of living there, feeling like rejected in a certain sense.
Yeah, I would say, but I think that's mostly because I tried to. I try to, you know, like start my own some kind of a business or something, or some system there, you know, that just work wise some system, and there I felt that they have that I'm starting from a totally different point where the locals are starting their way to build their life up there. So Estonia feels much more like home, you know, like everyone's you know relatively on the same level, you know, like we don't have like the upper class and then the poor class, you know. It's everyone everyone have quite equal opportunities.
Do you feel like they have that in the UK?
Yeah, I feel that they have those like those rich people, and then the rich local people, and then I mean the locals or the natives and the immigrants, and then regarding your like your income, you know, like different classes. I don't know. It's maybe just because of I'm sure that all of the people don't feel that way there, but just somehow I felt, and it's much more like if I would have only gone there only for studying, you know, and partying, you know, like which
wasn't what you were trying to do.
I wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, like having this usual student life in the UK, then I definitely wouldn't have that feeling.
Yeah.
But since I went there with totally different picture that usually young people go to UK when they go to study there, then yeah, I think that gave me this a little bit negative experience.
Did you go there with the intention of staying there?
Actually, yes, I had this intention that I will, you know, start something there, that because back then I had been 2 years home, living in home after my secondary school, and I just wanted to have some kind of a new step, or some kind of a like new page or something, and then I thought that to go to UK to study there, and then also to, I don't know, maybe even build some kind of life there. I had this plan or goal, but then I experienced this negative experience, and came back after a few months, like after 4 months or something. That's this place is like that's our shit here, you know. Everyone's equally poor, you know, and and that's true as well, you know. People say that, oh, Estonia, it's so small country, and you know, it's like everybody's poor and so on, but that's our biggest opportunity in this world, that we have this competitive advantage that no one else has. I mean, we can build anything here. You can be anyone in Estonia, but all the other Western countries, you know, the competition is so high, you know, in all the work fields and all the sectors here's I would say like in wild west or then Europe wise the wild east, where you can do anything, you know. I mean, it's very, there are like no that strict rules, you know,
because they haven't been established properly.
Yeah, this thing is still growing, you know. All
like
those systems and the society also, it's very young, you know. We only have the first layer of like millionaires here in Estonia who haven't inherited this money, but they have made it by themselves, and so yeah, it's a very cool time to actually live here at the moment. And I don't see any point of,
I agree with you.
moving. Oh, that's good.
I do.
Thank you. Not like thank you, but just it's. I think it's good to have like some common understanding.
Yeah, I do think so.
What about China? Is it easy there, or I believe not, to like express yourself or like be country famous? I don't know, in your work field, or I think it's quite tough there. I mean, like there are like so many people, and like
be famous on a national level.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like individually.
You must done something right.
Yeah, I mean, but here, I mean, you will do a smaller YouTube channel, and like whole country will know you, you know. Basically, I would say.
Yeah,
and it's same about the politics, you know. It's that I just feel that here, you know, like everybody, it's that they're like so close to the politics that I mean, if anyone would want to do anything or change anything, I mean, just political wise, then it's so easy. I mean, to do something here. I mean, it's so that's why I have this feeling that it's our country, you know, that we will build it, you know. We can do anything here. You know, because we have.
I like that. This interview like shifted away from Chris, the story of a BMW owner, to something totally different. But I think it was productive, bro.
I hope so.
Yeah, it was really good. So yeah, that's a second episode of Chatting with Estonians, and we had
Kristofer, the Estonian dude. That's the only way I can like define myself, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good to have you, man.
Thank you. Shall we wrap it up?
Now we cut right here.